Ireland's open borders response to the Ukraine migrant crisis may be unsustainable and risks damaging the country's social cohesion, a secret government memo has found. Having promised to take in a limitless number of migrants ostensibly from Ukraine, Ireland's open borders response to the ongoing war has been much lauded by the country's cadre of leftist politicians. However, a secret memo handed to the country's cabinet has now reportedly claimed that the country's response to the crisis has been an abysmal failure, and that authorities are now risking damaging Ireland's social cohesion should they continue to operate the unsustainable plan. According to a report published by major broadsheet The Irish Independent on the now-leaked memo, the document argues that the arrival of tens of thousands of migrants into Ireland in recent months have put extreme stress on the country's infrastructure, with housing, tourism, and transport all being negatively affected by the migrant wave. What's more, the impact on housing comes during an already chronic housing shortage in the country, with the Irish Times previously reporting that there was at one point less than 1,000 homes available to rent across the entire nation. Meanwhile, the impact on local towns and communities, some of which have seen their populations double in a matter of weeks, has also been substantial, with the secret document saying that the downstream effects of the crisis on local population, and in particular deprived communities, creates risks for social cohesion and integration. The report ultimately warns that the current approach by the government could become what the Irish Independent describes as unsustainable within a matter of weeks, risking public services and likely leaving many migrants and refugees without access to income and accommodation. Despite the progressive cawing of Ireland's Europhile legislative class, the memo represents the most recent sign that the wheels are coming off the wagon that is Ireland's response to the Ukraine crisis. In contrast to the careful actions of neighbouring Britain, authorities in Dublin have been adamant that Ireland's humanitarian response to Ukraine-linked mass migration trumps all other concerns, despite rural populations within the country struggling to handle waves of new arrivals and foreign officials warning that unchecked migration poses significant security risks. Officials within the country have even gone so far as to suggest Irish schools use a government language learning grant to teach kids Ukrainian, seemingly in a desperate bid to cushion now failing integration efforts. Meanwhile, it appears some politicians in the country seem to be rethinking their own personal commitments to solving the crisis, with the nation's migrant amnesty-loving Justice Minister, Helen McEntee, saying that she was thinking of pulling her offer to house a Ukrainian refugee, arguing her house is not suitable for the job. It is miles from anywhere, McEntee is reported as previously saying. You can't really walk anywhere.